Okay, here we go. We're riding at Pachaug on, it was a Saturday. It looks sunny, but it didn't feel that sunny out, to be honest with you. And right off the bat, we're into the water. I hate water. I hate deep water especially. Didn't expect to see any, but I guess Pachaug's pretty much known for having a bunch of it. And right away, we're going through some pretty deep water, which is always my worst nightmare because I don't mind crashing, I don't mind getting stuck, but I don't want to hear about my bike not starting because I sucked a bunch of water into it. Here we go, going through some more. We're riding with a pretty decent group today. We have the regular three, which is me, Mike, and DRZ. And then Frank, who rides with us on and off, doesn't make it as quite as much, but comes a lot. And then two new guys I never rode with before. And if you look in front of me, you'll see a guy, he's on a two-stroke. That's Will, who is riding with us for the first time. He's got a Husqvarna two-stroke. I don't know how many cc's. He's a pretty good-sized guy, so I don't know if it's a 200 or a 250. It might even be a 300. I really don't know. And then there's another guy who's not in the video so much because he's leading pretty much up front. That's Chris, and he's on a DRZ 400, which is pretty funny to me because these guys all preferred DRZ 400s for years. And Frank still, well, he rides a KLR, which is a DRZ pretty much, and Chris still rocks his. Dennis is the only one who we nicknamed DRZ, who got rid of his DRZ and is now on a Yamaha 450F, and he does great. Anyway, I'm following Will right now. As you see, we're going up some pretty steep rock. And what's pretty cool about this day, the reason I titled the video was Two Old Men, was that I got a chance to talk to him for a few minutes. It turns out he turned 60 this year like I did, so we're both pretty old dudes. And still out here ripping it. Look at his helmet if you get a chance. He's wearing an Arise street helmet. And I was like, man, what are you doing with that big street helmet on? And he said, I can't wear the goggles anymore. It doesn't like them, so he wears his street helmet, which is kind of comical. And he goes well. He's doing well. I'm trying to think of who's in front of him right now, but oh, that might be Mike riding between us. So if the train right now is Chris, Frank, or Frank and Chris, I don't know who's actually out front because as you can tell, I can't see him. And then DRZ, Mike, Will, and myself. And we're just riding along, enjoying the beautiful day. It's rocky in some places, but it's pretty wide. And if you are fast, you can go fast. I'm not fast, so it doesn't matter. Here's a different section. We just came along. We're riding along. I don't know if that's the pond or whatever they call that. And we're going to turn back into another trail. There's that helmet. Check it out. It's pretty Yeah, I remember this. So we're starting to climb this hill, and it's fairly steep. And I think Will gets stuck on this and kind of does a fall down. Yep, there he goes. He's down right there. And after that, I know this feeling, and I think this just comes because we're old again. And that really wiped him out for quite a while. It just saps your energy, especially at the age we're at. And he was able to get up and keep going, but it definitely took a lot out of him. Plus, he has to kickstart that thing, and that just wears you out too. And I know this feeling. Once you get that exhausted, we don't bounce back. At this age, it's like once I'm that tired, and I stay that tired for the rest of the ride. I think that's pretty much how he felt. And but he pressed on for quite a while, and then eventually, I think we were going to go to a different side where you had to go on the street a little bit, and I think this is where we go there now. And he decided, hey, it's probably best I just head back. So he headed the other way and went back, and we pressed on and crossed over to, I call it the other side of the forest. I don't know what side is which, but we went on a road for a little bit and dumped back in. And these trails were just beautiful. I think that's DRZ in front of me now. So yeah, Will must be out. He must have headed back. Little steep, not bad. Rocky, not bad. Challenging in a good way, not exhausting. Some funky ledge stuff. If you've ever listened or watched any of the videos that I commentate on, one of my favorite things that always happens when especially when I'm DRZ, I guess Frank too, to a certain extent, has the same kind of knowledge, but these guys are like true woodsmen. You know, they are definitely all about nature and what goes on, all the different animals and species. And I always speak for myself, but I always love my buddy Mike in with us because he and I seem to have the least knowledge. He might have more than me. But before we even started the ride, I kind of made a joke. I'm like, hey, I wonder what new nature lesson I'm going to learn from these guys today. You know, we're laughing. Who knows, right? So we start riding, and sure enough, it might have been a little bit back in the video, or it might be up front. I don't remember. But we stopped at a place, and we're kind of near the pond, and we're just, getting a drink or whatever, just taking a quick break. And all of a sudden, Frank goes, oh man, hear all those ducks? So the ducks were like quacking and making all kinds of noise. We couldn't see them, but you could hear them for sure. And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, man, there's a lot of species of duck. And I'm like, oh really? Once again, I didn't know. I'm like, oh cool. And so that was pretty much it. But then Dennis turns to us and goes, yeah, those are the females. And I'm like, we can't see them. And even if you could, how would you know, that they're females? I was just like, looked at him kind of like, I didn't know if he was teasing me or if he was serious. And Frank's kind of looking at him too, so I'm thinking, oh, they're setting me up for a joke, right? But no, he goes, you can tell the males from the females from the sound. And I'm like, really? I said, how is that possible? And he says, you can tell because only the females quack. I was like flabbergasted. I have to look it up. I'm assuming it's true. DRZ knows his stuff, but it was just funny. So I go, I think even Frank didn't know that one. Maybe he did, I don't know. But I know for me, that was the fun fact of the day. Every time I get out in the woods and we stop with these guys, there's definitely a fun fact that comes in, which makes the ride even more enjoyable. Mike waiting up for me, thank God, he's kind. I got so far behind on this trip that I went straight where they went right and I didn't even know it. Had to figure it out. It took me about 5 minutes down the wrong trail to figure out that I had totally missed the turn. And there we go. And as you can see, Mike, without even trying, is gapping me. We're going to turn in and look to the right on the video, and you're going to see there's probably a 3 to 4 foot, maybe not 4 foot, but 2 to 3 foot log blocking the path to the right. See it over there? Everybody else decides to go around it, but Mike, with his skill set, see right there, he's going over it, just bounces over it like there's nothing to it. And I'm like, man, his skills are just getting better and better every time I hang out with him. As he races and just rides more and just gets more aggressive, he can pretty much handle anything now. I mean, if I saw that in my path, I'm figuring out a way around it, or I'm stopping and dragging the bike over it. Now he just lifts the front and then bounces over it. like much because it was no big deal for him to do it. But if you would have saw let me speak for me, not the rest of you. If you would have saw me, you would have come to it in panic. Because, you know, 2 to 2.5 foot high log, you better get it right. So there we go. Look at how beautiful this terrain is. Day was going really well, and it even finished well, except for the reason we had to stop it. So we get back over, and I think it might not be on the video, I'm not sure, but I'm going to tell you what it is now, because I don't know where it is in this video, because I kind of cut it up a little bit. But anyway, we got to a really interesting part, and we, more water, yeah. And, somebody out walking, how great is that? Anyway, we got to a part that was like a bridge, and we decided not to cross the bridge. Oh, here it is right here. I think, or no, maybe not, I can't remember. We get to a bridge, we decide not to cross it because it's hard to get up and over it, it looks like, and even if we did, we didn't know it was on the other side, so we said, you know, we'll just flip around and go the other way. And after we turned around and we're coming back, once again, I was pretty far behind, so I didn't see it happen, but I guess when I came around the corner, I hit this log, kind of pushed me sideways a little bit, but I saved it, and they were stopped, and I'm laughing, because I think they're laughing or looking at me because I almost crashed, and come to find out that wasn't it at all. DRZ had hit the same log, but it flew up and caught his radiator hose and tore it off, and all his coolant leaked out. Because of that, we had to tow his bike out of there because no one had obviously another hose to fix it. We had some tools, and that's awesome that we can do that for each other. That's why we like to ride with each other. But usually it's DRZ hauling somebody out. To be honest with you, it's not. It's usually not him. But anyway, the funny thing was is Mike was towing him, and he was towing him almost as fast as I ride naturally. So I was cracking up. I'm like, dude, this is like a normal ride for me. Ah, here it is right there. Bang, that's the log, and there's DRZ with the broken bike.